Okay, so we doing the same thing everywhere. We still don't get it, and every time we watch the videos, you know, we can see we need some improvement.
This is the week for the breakthrough then.
Well, yeah, whatever. So I guess the things we still need to do is still gotta work on footwork, of course.
Yeah.
You know, especially the heel, toe heel in the last
Yep.
one coming down. That's the hardest one
Yep.
to get that one right. And then, and also general.
Just need reminders.
Yeah,
Start out good and then we
the dancing closer thing by pulling it in. Yeah,
Bye,
okay, so
guys.
See you Monday.
we want to really get used to dancing closer and change the frame a little bit.
Uh-huh. So, and remember, when you dance closer, you gotta be careful not to do,
Yeah.
so it's this
Right,
without changing the shoulders to do it,
right.
right? So getting used to, yeah.
And then some of the things, Linda's turns, she sometimes still hesitates halfway through, and so the timing's off. When she finishes the turn,
Yeah.
the timing's off because she kind
Okay.
of slows down in the middle and then,
Okay, we gotta figure out what
yeah.
to do.
No, I know, but I'm just trying to.
Oh, your turns all in all have gotten so much better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we agreed that if I do that thing and open up further, it looks much better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, because that's new from last week, yeah.
That's a big improvement, so we want to continue to do that. What else do we want to work on? Yeah, well, Linda had some concern about the very starting.
Oh, yeah, the very start. I think I got it down now, but I was.
Where your foot was
One
turned.
time I had to get on the right foot. I was on the, somehow ended up on the wrong foot and I had to get on the right foot. So I hope I'm doing it.
Well, the other thing too, the traveling step will go like this. And I think we want to do the underarm entry instead, because that one, she was getting ahead of me. With that turn, she cannot get ahead of me.
Ah, right.
So that solves
Yep.
one problem.
Okay.
So we were gonna.
Yeah,
so-
that's the other way of getting into that.
Yeah, yeah, it actually, it's easier to do, less chance of error, and make sure we're lined up correctly when we come out of there. Okay?
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, so just put on some music and we'll give it a whirl, and so let's see, we're starting down here, because we're gonna drop to position, and we're gonna get a good starting point here, and that's the audience. So we're facing the audience. Remember the slide before we start.
So that's already, when you hear that part, you know it's past 1:30. Nice.
See, I forgot to do the release,
Yeah.
that's why I did one last one.
Did we
Yeah.
use the release?
Yeah.
And you did on the last one, yeah.
I kept
Yeah.
saying, what did I forget?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
yeah,
thought about that in the middle.
Yep.
I thought,
Yeah.
did we do that? No, no,
Yeah.
we didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, if you do it one way one time and one way
Yeah,
another,
I know.
fine
I
too.
know,
Yeah,
I know,
yeah,
but
Yeah.
I should remember to do that.
yeah. Good,
Good
actually,
habits.
that was nice. That was really nice, yeah.
I still think on the he goes, she goes, it's still a little struggling. It doesn't look real smooth. It's kind of, forced.
But you're doing more with your arms on that too,
Yeah.
so that's looking good.
Yeah.
And the part on your turns, we looked at this a little bit before, is where you're actually turning more than you need to, which
Yeah.
is interesting, right? Because
Yeah.
we usually as ladies, we're really trying to get that turn in and we go too far. So when you take your second step, if I do, so when you're like crossed behind like this, and you go one down the floor, your second step, if I was doing it, I would try to stay like on the same board
same board,
or on the
right.
same line on the
Yeah.
board. But your second step comes
Going
way
over.
over here
Yeah.
onto this
Oh,
board.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But then I end up there, I should end up here, right?
Yeah, and the other thing that I think really helped you before is to push,
Push off, yeah.
And I think that would help you to end up where you wanted, right? So if you're going 1, 2, push, 3, and when I go push, that's when I'm pulling the left foot out to the side. Yeah, Oh, so now you're not on the right foot to do it again. That's why that didn't work. So if you're here on the cross behind, and you go 1, 2, 3, that's better. And then if your eyes, I know you were looking at me that time, but if your eyes looked out this way when you're done, so if we did 1, 2, 3. So I'm looking, and I can see like Elliot would be here, and you can see him out of the corner of your eye, and then you would do that forward side cross again, right? And then this time, do you see where her foot came all the way?
She spins off axis.
Came all
kind
the
of.
way over.
And that's why you get too far away at the end
Yeah.
too, because it starts drifting that way, away,
So I
right?
was going up and down the hall today, trying to do it right, but we have a narrow hall, so.
It forces you into that.
Yeah. So-
Yeah, when you got all this space, right? 1, 2, 3. And I always try to get my eyes to go where I want to end up
Okay.
first, right? So if I'm here, I look here, I'm going to look here, and then I'm going to look all the way, and then the body follows it. Yeah,
I think I did it right that time.
I think so too, right? You'll have it on the video though. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3.
I put my heel down, that was
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Much better.
You gotta practice a little faster, more dance tempo.
Drill master.
No, because when you do it too slow,
You got it,
you
do it
go to
fast.
bed, you know?
No.
But you know what? It's actually better to do it slow because it's harder to do it slow, but you can make sure that you're more accurate, right? When you're fast, you can just get through it faster and not necessarily do it more accurate. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Better. 2. And remember when you cross behind? The second time you crossed behind, you didn't put the foot down, and so you were already a little bit out of balance
Yeah.
before you started the turn.
Okay, so let's see.
1, 2, drop the heel. 1, 2, whoop. Now, and that one on 2, which is your left foot,
Yeah.
the heel doesn't drop. So you're like not dropping it in the place where you want to and then dropping it in the place where you don't want to, right? So we have heel, toe only. Whoop. That was interesting, like, whoa. 2, 3. And if you're pushing, if you're doing that push up out of it, then you can't drop it, right? If you
Yeah.
drop it, you can't push up out of it. So when I cross behind here, if I go 1, I land, push, and then land. So you see, as soon as I do that second step, if you watch me one time, 1, as soon as I put this second step down, I'm already starting to push up around, right? One, push, around. Better. 1, 2, 3. 1, push, around.
I'm afraid
1,
I'm
2, 3. 1, push, around.
all the way around.
And then there, I felt like when you turn, do you see if I turn and my head stays
Yeah.
here? Or if I turn and
Keep looking
I,
at, I wasn't looking.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
Start from.
Anticipating your direction with your head, sort of.
yes. Because your eyes are going to look to where you want to end up, and then it's going to tell the body. So your eyes look all the way around, look around. Push up, look around. Whoop, do you see where she
Your
stopped
head is
looking?
lagging.
Instead of
Yeah.
being
Your head
there.
is back and
Yep.
your body's turning.
Yeah,
Just
and it's
the
just
opposite.
getting those things to all line up at the same
The
time.
head should lead the body, not follow the body.
Yeah. Whoop.
I think she's starting to turn her head too late, right? She keeps her head going forward.
That was the best one. Yeah. Yeah. But it's good for you to be able to watch it
Yeah.
too, because then you can see, because you have to do exactly the
Yeah.
same thing. You're turning the opposite direction
Right.
with the opposite foot, but exactly the same type of turn.
That's better, you were earlier.
And I think because when you sped up, again, you weren't quite as accurate when you went faster. Yeah, you kind of, it's easy to kind of fling yourself around when
Yeah,
you're,
no, I cannot.
but you know, it's so good to work, this is a great thing just to work
Yeah.
for your posture and your
Yeah.
balance, because it is easier to start losing that effect of being able to balance yourself. So if you're continually practicing on being balanced and moving yourself through your feet,
So let's get right into the camera so you can see if we're going in a straight line. We're gonna go one, that's how we'll start. How far should we do it?
yeah, and see, and your head lagged on that one too, right? And
We don't go as fast.
yeah, let's go a little slower. I said faster, a little slower. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
Yeah, well, I did it.
Yeah,
Somewhere.
and the one where you turn by yourself, can I do that? Give you a turn break because you've done a ton of turns. The one where you turn solo, your foot still went off that way. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. And then there, just watch that you're not already right falling into that. So you want to make sure that you're vertical on 3. 1, 2, vertical. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, vertical. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, vertical. 1, 2, 3. And then watch, I think we talked about this before, is that if you take the hand too far away, like if I'm turning and you put the hand all the way over here, when I turn around, do you see there's no room? And I did notice that, it looked like your arm
Yeah.
was a little cramped. But if you
Closer
kept
to
it
me.
here, now when I turn around,
Okay.
there's
Oh,
space
Yeah,
for it to come
because
through.
instinct says I should put it over your head so you can turn.
Yeah.
That's what instinct
Yeah.
says.
Mhm. And then that keeps moving me away. And I noticed that it might have been the one actually that we let go on. I felt like it kind of turned me away and my foot went a little further than I wanted. And I think it was on the solo turn one actually. So we have 1, 2, 3. Keep this going right down the middle. Straight down the middle. Uh-huh. And here, straight down the middle. Yeah. Straight down the middle. Yes.
Yeah, that
Yes.
works so much better. I can see that.
But you're right, it's intuitively, it seems like you want to go
Yeah,
way
right,
over
right.
here.
So she can turn right underneath my arm.
One, two, three, straight down the middle.
3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, and I still see, and I don't know if that's left over from, but I
Yeah.
see at the end of the one where you hold on.
Yeah,
Got too close to him.
yeah. She did lose and also dumped underneath the
Yeah.
arm.
Let me do the turns with you. Are you okay to do them? Okay. You're a lot better with doing a lot of turns than a lot of the ladies. They're like, I can't turn anymore. They're like falling over. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So I want to make sure that this spot is very balanced before I move down. 1, 2, 3. Uh-huh. And now let this, lower your wrist down. Yeah? Yeah. So let this naturally come down because it gets kind of stuck up here. Yeah, there you go. Nice. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to be fully balanced. And I'm going to take this hand right through the center. Right through the center. And look over here. Yeah. Because you stopped looking. Do you see that?
Yeah,
where?
so if
Yeah.
I look at your hand, which should I look at? Look at your
Yeah.
hand.
I'll put my hand here so you can look towards that. Then 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2. Let the hand drop. Let it float down. That's it. We'll go back a little bit.
Yeah, you need to repeat that at least one more time.
Yeah. But you see how you're I think you're used to like stopping your arm here, and then it throws your balance a little bit. You still good for turning? Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to take this right through the middle. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah? Yeah.
Go really slowly. But I think if I do it slowly, I can
Yeah.
And you see, when we did it, the setup where you cross behind, I made sure before we did the turn that we were balanced there.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times you're already a little bit losing balance. You see how you were also tipped a little bit into it already? So you're already starting off just a little bit out. 1, 2, balance. 1, 2, 3, balance.
1, 2,
Balance.
1, 2,
Balance.
1, 2, 3,
Balance.
1, 2, 3,
Balance.
1, 2, 3.
Balance.
My turn was okay, but I put my foot down. But
You got it down.
yeah,
Yeah, much better.
that was better.
You got to be getting a little bit dizzy now.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
We can
Yeah.
go on. What do you want to do?
But doing it slow motion,
Yeah.
checking the balance point, because in the middle it goes off and you're just like, well, when did it start going off, right? And it's usually before the turn even started.
A particularly fast waltz, I mean, is it, right?
No.
It's
No,
not pretty slow.
yeah.
So then in terms of the order of the steps, I thought that after the opening number, we'd immediately go into the open with the right turn and the develop beat. Just because that's more dramatic.
Yeah,
If you,
Yeah.
if you just go back and forth,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of boring, you know? Once you got their attention with the grand opening,
yeah,
you might as
Follow
well
it
do
up
something
with another.
splashy to follow it, right?
okay.
So the chemists were saying, we love your opening. You know, they're kind of jealous, you know, oh, why didn't we think of that?
Well, they were just starting here, and I just said, how about if we do something,
Yeah, what,
You know, and
just a right step or something?
she just walks over in front of them.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, they start side by side and she just walks to the front. Yeah.
But when they started dancing, I thought they did something like the right step first or something.
That was the
That was the
international.
international.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's why I said,
Yeah.
well, that's a strange opening.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
international.
oh, okay.
That's
okay.
driving on the other side of the road.
Yeah.
Right, wrong side, you
Okay.
say.
So, let's just do the music one more time.
Okay.
And
And
then,
then,
Yeah, but that's a good idea. Whatever
Yeah.
feels good for you to,
so we're gonna start down here. From here. Yeah, that's the elements. You should be a little more pointed in the skin, but you know that. Yeah, we're supposed to start facing each other.
very nice.
Oh, I screwed up again. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, I think I'll get a little
Let's let go of all the hands.
Let go of the wrong hand.
All
Ay,
hands
ay,
on deck. Beautiful opening though.
Huh?
The opening was beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're starting to get it.
Yeah.
I was gonna go underneath.
But that is very dramatic in the beginning, adding that right in,
Yeah.
like you did immediately, right?
Yeah. The thing is, I kind of curved around and went in a circle. Like, I mean, you know, instead of traveling down the line, I sort of got wrapped up in a little circle there. So back to my thinking, enough of a step to this way to really.
Right, so if you,
And once before I did an intermediate step, I wasn't lined up in the right position. So I need to get lined up correctly so I can immediately do that step next. You know.
right, and I think you're gonna wanna be back a little bit more,
Uh-huh.
right, because we're here. You don't wanna be too close to the edge of the floor, because
Oh.
you still have to come around her now,
Yeah.
which takes you a little bit further out.
Oh,
So I would
okay.
say, because of doing that, you'd wanna make sure you're a little bit in, a little bit more. So if
Okay,
we
but if
did,
everybody's lining up around this perimeter of the circle, right? We just want to be inside a little bit, is that what you're
Yeah.
saying? Oh, okay.
yeah. Because, well, I'll show you
Yeah,
why.
right.
So as soon as we do this, and we do the pickup, then you're coming around there, then I'm going out. You see how this
Yeah.
does move us a bit
Right.
there?
Yeah, I need an extra effort to make sure I got it round enough.
Yeah,
Because that's my problem, I tend to not go around enough.
Yeah.
And if I don't, then I get tied up in a circle over
uh-huh. And you could angle this just a little bit more with her closer and you farther
there.
away.
Also, I'm sort of aiming that
Yeah,
way, is that what you
so
said?
then we're like this, and then it gives you more room on that side.
Uh-huh, okay.
So you could,
Yeah, but-
if that feels
yeah.
easier for you to get
The
around.
combination sounds good, as long as
Yeah.
I get it lined up, because
Yeah,
when I don't get it lined up, then I'm in the wrong place and I'm kind of in the middle of the floor and I have to do
and that looks like this. So if I start you, instead of us being even, I'm gonna be more like in the diagonal, really,
Uh-huh.
right? And then, so if I do this, and then I pick you up, and I go around, right into this, to here. Yeah? Pretty dramatic, right? Yeah.
Okay, but see, when you did the development, you sort of angled this way.
Yeah.
Should that be okay, or should it be trying to do it that?
Um,
So to keep my line and dance good on this.
It's
way?
actually better to angle it this way, because
Oh,
now
okay.
we're gonna do this turn,
Yeah.
and then the turn,
Oh,
now,
no, my back is line and dance at
Yeah.
that point. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Let's just practice that part for the other right one time. So we're gonna be back here and aiming slightly to the curtains, so.
You're right, but I'm.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I'm thinking our mutual
Direction.
direction is like this. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3.
now, so you did it just opposite. I actually angled this way more.
Oh, see,
You angled this way more, right? Let's see. Let me just see how
we
this
used to be
feels.
facing straight to the audience.
Right.
So I thought you were telling me to aim it that way.
So if I go this way, and then here, you see, it really takes me here, and if I got to get around there, But if I angle this way, right? So now I'm more into the, towards the corner angle. So she's a little closer to the edge than me.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right? I'm a little bit more into the center.
Because I got it totally backwards.
Yeah, sorry. And then we go here. Now, when she comes around here, do you see? I have this open to go around her now.
Okay, okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I guess if you're in that way, then you're going to tend to go towards
Yeah.
the center.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you actually made it harder to get
Yeah.
around for yourself.
So here, ready for the white door.
So, yeah, so you're more
Yeah,
at
we're doing
this
more 40, so
diagonal.
45,
Yeah.
Like 45 degrees.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Uh-huh.
So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Do you see how you have a clear way to go now? Yeah.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
Yeah.
That's a huge, okay.
And that actually moves it nicer
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you're
yeah.
not having to work so
Yeah,
hard to
yeah,
get around
okay,
each other.
okay, good. Put the music on.
Okay. Yes, sir.
This is helpful, all these little details.
Nice. That's right at 1:30 right here.
Did I do everything or did I leave out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you did everything.
Yeah.
You did the backward,
Yeah.
the progressive.
Yeah.
backward.
Yep, you did that right here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's getting better, I think.
Yeah. And you got, so it looked like that time you had like the entry
Mhm.
and then that open
Right,
syncopated
right.
turn. And then right from there, you went into the forward and back progressive
right.
twinkles. And then it was kind of like, okay, now
Yeah.
what?
Then
There's-
I had a white, now what?
Well, then I felt like I was in the wrong position, so I did a couple box steps just to kind of get squared away, and then
So the next one, you want to do flip-flops then? Is that the next thing you want to do?
well, I did some.
No, I mean, but so if you start off with,
I
Yeah,
see.
but instead of the little, what are we doing next?
right,
Yeah,
because there was
yeah.
like a little
Yeah,
section
yeah,
there
right,
that
right,
had
yeah.
like, oh, okay, what's
Yeah,
going on?
right.
Because you started out and you had all of these
Yeah,
bang,
yeah.
bang, bang right back to
Yeah,
back.
Yeah, it looks much better if it just flows.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
next.
And then, so I think flip-flops would
Yeah.
be the,
Yeah.
because you did the progressive forward and back.
Yeah.
So you came out of that and then you were over here and then,
Turn into developé there, and then,
and I think the flip-flops,
You-
yeah, you did a turn in developé, which you had
Yeah.
just done here, so
Yeah.
you wouldn't have to do
Yeah,
that yet,
right.
right?
yeah.
The flip-flops or the one, or where you go under,
Yeah.
whichever,
Well, I did the do under twice.
Twice.
Yeah.
No,
'cause we-
sure one.
yeah, you went under again,
Yeah,
yes,
right,
yes.
right, because I didn't know what
Yeah.
else to do. That's-
So do you think you want to do the go under next or the flip-flops as the next one? So if you did your entry, you did the syncopated turn right
Yeah,
up from the
right.
opening.
Right.
Then you did the forward and back progressives.
Right.
If that's what you want to do there, I don't know.
It kind of depends where I am in floor position, because
Right.
you need a running room to get that done. So I should kind of need a plan B if I'm,
Right.
you know.
So, and I think you could say either the next thing would be the twinkles, or the next thing would be, twinkles, the flip-flops, or the next thing would be where you go under.
But the flip-flop, should that be just the she goes or the he goes, she goes?
Either way,
Yeah.
I tend to like to do a couple where she goes
Yeah,
first,
right,
and
right,
then,
Right,
Yeah.
right. And I don't want to do too many reps of anything, so maybe just 2 of those and then 2 he goes, she goes.
yeah, I think, and that's better than doing 4 of he
Yeah.
goes, she goes, I
That's-
think,
that's
because that
kinda
changes
boring.
the
Yeah,
look,
right, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, okay, yeah, we'll show them.
yeah. This is right at 1.5 minutes.
No, you do that.
Did we do he goes, she goes?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, we did.
Yeah, you did it
I
over
think I
here.
did 2 she goes and then 2 he goes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just sort of.
Yep. Yeah.
It's starting to flow better.
Yeah, and I said where 1.5 minutes was, so
Yeah.
you knew.
Yeah, right.
Because you kind of did a couple things twice,
Yeah.
but if not that many, really,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So it filled up the
Okay, we
music.
did he
Yeah.
goes, she goes.
And I thought the order that you did it
Yeah.
filled it up really nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, great.
yeah.
Done that.
Okay.
Woohoo, yeah.
So let's work on cha-cha a little bit.
Okay.
Um,
Is there anything you want to go over
Yeah, just
first, or you want to
yeah,
put it
play some
on one?
first and
Okay,
See if I forgot how to get into some things.
okay.
Yeah.
How do we get into
Yeah.
that?
And, we're still working on the body motions and the Cuban motion and not
Yeah.
moving the top too much and all this other stuff. It
Uh-huh.
takes a little trick. We sort of know what you're supposed to do, but doing it is.
And, it's way easier to do when your feet aren't moving,
Yeah.
right? So it's one of the things that does take a while to incorporate. that's a minute and 30 there.
Yeah, I'm trying to go into a crossover and switch hands, and then do that. Well, that's what I was trying to do.
Is that what you're supposed to do?
Yeah.
To get into the,
From a crossover is what, yeah.
Yeah.
So you could switch, whoop, let me just do that. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. I switched the hand that time first before I did. So you can either do, which is I think what you did was 1, 2, 3, I lead the crossover, then switch, right? Or if it seems like it gives you a little bit earlier notice, I could switch before I do the crossover. So that looks, or as I'm doing it. Crossover.
Yeah, that might be easier.
Is that easier for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you see how I did that?
Yeah, go do it one more time.
Yeah. So if we're here, 1, 2, 3, I change the hand, then do crossover, then bring it
Okay,
across.
so you're doing a crossover with the same backhand thing
Yeah,
that you would.
already.
Yeah, so you sort of halfway.
Then you already
into
know
the
it's
step,
coming.
yeah.
Instead of doing the crossover in this
Yeah, right.
position, then changing.
Yeah, right, okay.
Either is fine,
No, no, I like
but
it. Let's practice that.
I think this might give you a little bit more notice. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah? You like that one better?
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that one better.
okay. Yeah. Good, and actually, your cha-cha's really come along. I think because when you focus on, an
Yeah.
impending event that you
Yeah,
want to,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It pushes you to
Yeah.
like put things together and think about how things,
Yeah.
move from one step to the next. You want to do this one more time, or do you have?
So what other steps did we not do that we should? Well, we could have done a chase.
Yeah.
We could do,
But you know what, it looked really good. So I think making sure that even if you repeat, it's better to do the ones that, yeah, right?
yeah.
So like, that when you're checking forward
Yeah,
on that
right.
sweetheart, that looks really
Uh-huh.
nice. And obviously the triples to
Yeah,
side to
right,
side,
right.
triple progressive forward and back side to side. This half moon,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is new too, right?
Yeah, because you're right, the judges will only watch it for a little while, so they'll never know
Yeah.
it repeats.
Right, right. It's better to do less than,
Oh, yeah.
Through the door.
oh yeah,
Through
through
the
this
door
door
left.
and then to the door to the left. Yeah, uh-huh.
Well, you don't really see it hard on here. I'm roasting.
I think, you know what, do you want me to turn the fan
Yeah, I
on?
could use a fan. Wow.
Oh, he's not.
That's why there's so many fans around here
Well,
too.
we got one of our air conditioners doesn't work, it hasn't worked for 8 years. We're gonna replace the whole air conditioner.
Oh, you are?
I said, we can afford it, why do we suffer?
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Yes, I think we're gonna comfortable as long as we can get the entries
Yeah.
cleaned up like this last entry like that.
Huh.
Is this big one go on?
Is this plugged
Is
in?
there
This big one is plugged in.
a light switch or something that, they've got a lock on it.
You see the on switch?
Or is it
I think that's on. Well, honestly, I've never
Oh,
turned.
well, that's okay, I can suffer. Because it looks like it should be on, the switch looked like it was off, but it should
I
be on.
don't even see an on switch on that one.
Working, so I don't know if they
How
got.
about this one? Here, let me try this.
I don't know if they have a secondary switch someplace.
Oh, there the air just kicked on though. Do you
Yeah,
feel
that's
it?
okay, good enough, good enough. It's not that hot, because the air is basically cool,
Yeah.
so I'm working up a sweat.
Here's that one. See if that helps.
Okay. Music, maestro. And then we'll time a minute and a half so we know where we're at.
Yeah, I'll tell you a minute and a half. If you want to keep going, you can.
Cross my lead and then side 1, 2, and then side double. Basic, you want to do basic.
Okay. And you lost a little bit, but it seems like when you're wanting to do the triple progressive to the
Yeah.
side, that she's not knowing
she
when you want to
doesn't
get
know,
into
right,
it,
yeah.
right? Right? So let me just see how you're leading it now. So you want to start with the basic or the 1, 2? Yeah. So if we're coming over here for a regular crossover,
Yeah.
how do I know?
Yeah, right.
Right?
So I guess, so my hand, I guess, should probably extend more if I want to do that one. As opposed to,
And I want to be careful not to like
yeah,
pull it out,
really,
because then I just pull her out of
yeah,
balance,
that's
right?
really obvious too.
Yeah. And so if I'm just doing a basic, and okay, wait, see if you can time your steps to mine. There you go. So that's what's following is timing. Okay. And if I do a crossover, when I do a crossover, there's kind of a stop here.
Yeah.
Because this is a checking where
Uh-huh.
I'm stopping one way. So a lot of times, a lot of men overlead
right.
this one. Right? They're already pulling the lady
Yeah.
out of balance. But I try to stop it right here. Okay? And if I want to keep going then, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I did.
Yeah. And do you see how you turn back? So
Yeah.
as long as I keep going this way,
You gotta keep going.
yeah, right?
Okay.
Right? So if we keep going this way, okay?
Yeah. Either there is a break or there is no break.
Yeah.
Sort of. Absence of the break means keep going.
Yeah, so first of all, leading the crossover break, right? Yeah, there's always like a stop. You feel that? Stop. Uh-huh. Stop. Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I felt the difference.
Yeah, right.
A different communication just through the hand, even before you
Yeah.
know. So it was really easy to tell that you were going to.
Yeah.
So just try that together. And I think that it's really, like I've been practicing following for a long time.
Yeah.
So I kind of let go of that urge to just want to make sure I go.
Yeah.
And because it's
for that.
easier to like figure out what he's doing and then go.
Because you
than
have
it-
a couple
Yes.
milliseconds to
Yeah.
react.
All right.
It's normal to have a delay.
Yeah.
It's not, you're not supposed to anticipate exactly.
It's like when you watch something with the delay and the volume or something like that, or
Yeah.
the voices, it's not quite on track. You don't want to be exactly on the same
Yeah.
track of him, right? Yeah. So, because he's got to give you the information of what you're doing next. So the checking, stopping, stop, stop, stop.
I
But
stopped before you
it-
wanted to, but-
Now, and one of the things that I noticed when I was leading Linda is when you do just the regular crossover with me again. And do you see when you stop there, my reaction to that? How you feel me
Yeah.
reacting to
Uh-huh.
it? Now do it one more time and I'm not going to react,
Yeah, right.
right?
Yeah.
Now do it with Linda and see.
Yeah, I don't sense that she reacts like that.
But because she doesn't know what that
Right,
feels
right,
like,
right.
right? But now feel as you feel from her.
Then I'll just say,
She doing it now?
uh-huh.
Ah, okay.
Because I can feel a little more firmness in you.
Yes. And that firmness is telling you, we're not going to keep going that way. We're
Yeah.
checking or stopping the
Yeah.
direction. So here's the
Yeah,
stop.
it was
But a
like
lot of times, like I said, men usually lead this wrong in the
Yeah.
beginning. They pull more. They're really telling you to
Yeah,
keep
right.
going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
But so just that stop, that check. Then now, see if you can lead the difference between the two. Yeah, so when you know that you're going to keep going, you have to make sure that you don't want to pull it way out, but you want to make sure that you're not giving her that
Yeah.
stop cue. That
So
they're,
the check was good for this,
Uh,
but when we went left, it kind of disappeared.
Because I
Felt
was
a little
gonna
bit.
try to go more than 2 times to see if you
Yeah,
could pick it
but
up.
shouldn't you be still firm in your arm or something?
to keep it going.
Yeah.
So
Should you-
what he's telling you here is stop, right?
Right.
Stop, yeah, stop, and change directions, right? Rocking back. keep going, keep going.
But you still have like tone in your arm.
Uh-huh,
So
yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I didn't feel much.
You didn't feel the tone?
Okay.
Yeah, I think
But those little details,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
like those are the things that nobody can see.
Yeah, right.
And it's nicer when they can't see the
Yeah,
lead,
right.
right? Than when, when you watch some people
Yeah.
and you see the,
Right.
everything overdone. Yeah, right? So it's that like invisible
Yeah, right,
communication
right.
that's going on. And then the other thing is that if you can match the shoulder line as much as you
Yeah.
can, so if we just did a basic crossover break, so from like both sides, did a crossover here. So in between,
Yeah, you should be lined up
Yeah.
this way and
And-
then complete her.
right?
Back to, what do you
So we
call it,
have,
square
if we do
off.
the basic, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 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 2. Right?
Yeah.
Instead of just going,
Yeah, right.
I know, that's the way
Yeah.
it should be done.
Well, they teach us that Monday night, but
Yeah,
I
they
forget,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Square off.
Yeah, the fact that you're always facing and then it's quickly.
Plus, then you can like follow what his body's doing too. If his
Yeah.
body's already turned away from you,
Yeah.
right? If I'm already going 1, 2, 3, right?
Yeah.
You're not really getting any information because you're not checking back in the body position. Right, I talked about it when I taught the class too. Yeah.
I started doing the step and I forgot to say, it wasn't, my hand wasn't synchronized.
So you want me to put on another
Yeah.
cha-cha? Okay.
But it seems like I don't have enough steps to get through this thing. Yeah, without repeating quite a bit.
It wouldn't hurt for you to repeat everything.
Yeah.
Because they're not
Okay.
going to see you do it
Okay,
twice.
okay.
Yeah. And maybe we'll do it better the second time.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. Do you want to do any kind of little beginning on this one?
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking that when I
Yeah.
was playing music and I was trying to
Yeah, the
remember.
thing, I think I'm trying to do hands, but I don't know if my arms are in the right place. And then also the feet are supposed to be more shiny. It's like, I don't think about that.
Well, you can do locks or you can do steps.
That's what I meant,
Yeah.
locks,
But,
yeah.
if we do the locks, we both should do locks. and
Yeah.
We both should do
So
steps.
that's what I'm saying, should we do locks instead of steps?
Well, I don't know, what do you think? Does it
On the
matter?
progressive.
Steps are easier than locks, I mean,
Steps are easier sometimes the blocks are easier for some people and
Yeah.
sometimes the passing are easier for some people.
Yeah.
So,
we
do
haven't
you
done
think
the
the
locks.
passing?
The only reason is we haven't been doing the locks, so
Uh-huh.
therefore to switch and do the
Yeah.
locks is.
Maybe just keep what you have then, yeah. Okay, so for a beginning, when I did it with Kelly and Carol, we did do a little beginning, but we just did a separate thing and joined right up. It
Uh-huh.
wasn't like anything.
Yeah. Well, that's something better than theirs.
Aren't they still gonna do the front of it?
I think so.
Yeah. So, let's see, so we could do something where, I think we want to do something where you're definitely holding on. Have you done that one? Behind the back like that? You seem like you
I
did.
have done it.
Yeah, it
with
seemed like you
somebody.
followed it there.
Yeah. It's like a dish towel or wash
Mhm.
machine. I don't know what it's called,
Yeah, the Turkish towel.
The
You
Turkish
towel,
towel,
Turkish
yeah.
towel.
know that one already?
We have
We
done
have
it in
done
the
it.
past. I don't remember how to do it, but we have done it.
Because we could use that as sort of like a beginning. We could start off like in a handshake hold position. We could have you turn right away. I don't know if that's good for you or not. Well, let's try it, and then we'll go. If I have you step to the side, and then I'm going to have you turn right under, and then come right around behind,
Yeah, that's good.
and rock forward with your the foot closest to me. Yeah, that's always the best way to remember it. Foot closest to me. Whoop, and I'm going to rock back. Excuse me, I rock forward. The man rocks back on this one. The lady rocks forward. So it's just the reverse of when you do. Yeah. So if we started with our foot to the side, so you'd point this way. Yeah. So if we did, you could hold 8 counts. Well, listen to it one more time. But let's say we held 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Rock forward with the foot closest to me. 2, 3, 4, and 1. 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and then you come out. And we could go in,
Yeah.
like maybe right into this one, since
Yeah.
you already have that
See,
handhold.
the thought of just starting out with the basic and do crossovers is so boring. Every single person does that.
Yeah.
So we
So
don't
this
definitely
one,
don't want to do that.
We
yeah.
would start in a handshake hold with the foot pointed to the side.
Wow.
And we're going to try, we could change this if we need to, but if we went right into the turn, I don't know if that's going to feel, because it's a little bit fast, this music. And we held 5, 6, 7, 8, 1,
Well,
rock
what
back.
about I rock back?
Up the other foot though. Side. And when you rock back, if you rock back at this angle like this, you're here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. She comes around behind you. You rock back. 2, 3, 4, and 1. Rock back. 4 and 1. Rock back. Then you take her around. 2, 3, and come out to face her. Pick her up. And then we'll go into this half moon.
Okay, so let's try that.
So we're going to do handshake. So this, we would start off shaking hands, pointing the foot to the side, and we go. And so you're going to angle back. You're going to step to the side for 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to be turning to face the camera, basically, as you cha-cha. 4 and 1.
Oh,
Rock
I
back.
know what to do with it.
2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. And you look at me over here. That's it. And then I'm going to come out into, go ahead and keep this hand, and we'll go right into
Oh, I
this
like
step.
that.
And then rock back right here when I come across. Rock back, that's it. So each time I come across, rock back, because that opens up the space for me to move and try to.
Okay, I like that. One more
Do.
time. So really,
And we can see if we want to do a
Yeah.
basic, but it would be kind of cool to go right
no,
into a turn.
I like the idea of this bit.
Okay, so we'll start here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. So there's 3 of these. Here's the third one. Then I come out here, right into a crossover break. 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
That adds a lot to the
Yeah,
whole routine.
and that'll add 20 seconds
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
beginning or more,
Okay, so
right?
let's do that practice. We're facing each other this time?
Uh-huh. And point, Linda, your right foot to the side, because that's going to be the step that you're going to step onto, and you're going to step onto your left. So then we know it's free because it's pointed. So we go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so she goes right under. 1, 2. Whoop. So you're doing, let me do the man's part again. Side, rock, back, shot to the side.
Okay, I got it. Side rock.
Side, rock, back, shot to the side.
Don't worry.
I'm supposed to go forward.
Yeah, you're supposed to go forward and do it backwards.
Where'd you go?
So you're going to go all the way around him. So if I go side, rock, back.
Oh.
Whoop. Side, rock, back. I go forward till I get to here. Yeah?
Trying to go around the front.
Yeah.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 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 1, crossover, 4. Now,
I picked my step.
yeah, yeah.
I was off.
So when she comes around, the last one, when she's on this side, and you're going to be rocking forward with this foot, right? So this will be 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. Oops, so let me do it from the top with you. Let me do the whole thing. So then we have it on video. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. That's 1. 4 and 1, 2. 4, and this is the last one. 4 and 1, cross body, cha-cha to the side, crossover break. Do you see how I keep myself turned towards you? Turn towards you, rock back. Turn towards you, crossover. Turn towards you, rock back. Turn towards you, crossover. Another thing of keeping the shoulders facing each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 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 1. Whoop. And now, when she comes around you, so the last one, she's going to be on this side of you, and you're rocking back with your left foot. 2, 3. She comes around behind you as you go 4 and 1. You rock back, she comes around this side, and you go 2, 3. Facing her, you cha-cha to the side, 4 and 1, crossover break. 2. Face her, cha-cha to the side, rock back so she can cross in front of you. Face her as you cha-cha to the side, crossover. Face her, rock back, face her, crossover break. You see how that facer each time is in between. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the last one. Rock back as you bring her across. Face her as you cha-cha, crossover. Face her, rock back, bring her across. Face her and crossover. Face her, bring her across. Face her and crossover. Yeah, yeah. Oh, and then just a couple of tips, like when she doesn't even have to do the feet, but when she comes around behind you, this shoulder, this arm, excuse me, kind of goes to this shoulder, and then it goes, so it's really doing this.
Okay, my hand
Right.
goes to his shoulders.
Yeah?
Okay.
So it doesn't have to like,
Okay.
right? Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to get like,
Yeah. Okay.
and when I take my step on each side, so you don't even have to take your step. When I'm coming over here, do you see how, and this is what I had you do when you were the one doing this on the
Right.
outside. Do you see how close I am? Your step tends to go way over here.
Okay.
So I'm going to go really close, really close. Do you see how I'm kind of peeking around the corner at him?
Okay.
And I'm close to him, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Stay close, peek around the corner. Peek around the corner. Peek around the corner. There you go. 2. Cross over. Half moon. Cross over. Half moon. Yeah. Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah? Yeah, let's just
I
listen to
love
this.
that. That makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
in the routine.
Now let's see if we want to hold, I think we want to do that 8 count, but let's listen to it again.
Uh-huh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2.
Okay, let's start with the over here.
It goes da, da, then 1, right? 1. Now you are. Actually, Linda was right that time. And finally you caught up to her at the end. Yeah.
And something was wrong. We weren't in step. I couldn't quite.
I'm going to count it this time
Yeah.
again so you
Wait,
can hear it.
You go 8 and you start on 1.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So it goes like this for you, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, and you're here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. Yep. Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 4, and 1. Half move. Okay, so now, you know
I don't know
what?
how to exit it now.
Now what?
So, and that was 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got.
Okay, so that took
So
a big
once
chunk.
we get done with it, how should I exit
What
that?
was the first thing that you did before?
Before
Yeah,
we did a crossover and then one time we did
Okay, so maybe we go into a crossover to come out of this. So we're doing these half moons, right? So let's say half moon here. Now, anytime if you just take this hand and put it here, we're in a
Okay,
regular crossover,
okay.
right?
Okay, so just switch hands and
Yeah.
do a crossover.
So we figure out like how many of these you want to do.
Except I can go here and go into a cross by lead.
Yep. Crossover.
That would be easier,
Yep.
right? That's
Well, that's the same thing I was saying.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I'm saying the same thing, so yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Then
Yeah.
it flows.
Yep. So then you just hook up right there to
Yeah.
where you normally started.
Right. Okay.
Now, this is a little quick, right?
Yeah.
Getting right in and right around there. What about the
Yeah.
wrong hand in there? Yeah?
Yeah. No, it is quick, but
But you have 8 counts to at least hear music
Yeah.
before you start it
Yeah.
too. But once you do start, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, right into it, right?
Yeah, it's a quick.
well,
Yeah.
it just
Nice,
raised it a half a
energetic.
star. You know.
Yeah.
It really did. It
Half
really
a
did.
star.
No, but 1.5 stars.
1.5 stars.
Yeah, oh yeah, the time is on already.
Okay, so we can continue to work on that, or you
Yeah.
can practice that in between, and if you have any questions,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
we can address it next
easier
time.
for us to practice because we don't need a whole ballroom.
Yeah, yeah.